UE2 has been live for over a week, addressing the feedback. Full patch notes are coming soon, but check out some of the more significant changes below. Gameplay features. Like we mentioned last week, we'll be adding the capacity to fast travel between checkpoints within an area, as well as adding many more checkpoints areas, generally at all entrances and exits the area, meaning if you find these first, you'll be able to instantly travel to them to continue exploring. We'll also be making passive point respeccing cheaper, especially at higher levels. In a relatively aggressive curve, getting more expensive with each character level, we have flattened that curve so it doesn't exponentially grow as much. This should generally result in approximately 40-50% less gold cost respeccing in the start and middle of endgame progression. That's huge. Respecs were too expensive. I still want to see free respecs for major balance changes though. Trial of the Sekhemas. Sekhema balds. Players were finding Trial of Sekhemas particularly frustrating in close range, so we've reworked how honor damage scales when in close range, as well as fixing an important bug that was causing players to take far too much honor damage from DOT. Honor damage now scales down based on distance to enemies. When in close range, you'll take 35% less honor damage, tapering off as you're further away from monsters. Fixed the bug where DOT was dealing thrice as much damage to honor as intended, and fixed the bug where honor resistance was only applying to 2/3 of that damage. Skitter golems no longer use a base attack and just explode. Okay, some things. Some tack changes. Endgame and monster balance. Here we go. Generally, they balance in endgame maps was more punishing than intended, so we toned down the damage in a number of ways and disabled a certain on-death effect where the telegraphing was not as clear as it should have been. Maps no longer have additional LE res penalties and hardly applied at tier 6, 11, or higher maps is now consistent across all of endgame. Oh, that's huge, dude! Getting res capped was so annoying. That's actually huge. I hope this doesn't mean they just slapped it on the end of the story or something. Hopefully it's just gone. Chaos damage now also scales less aggressively over the endgame. Nice, chaos damage was overtuned. Crit strikes now deal 40% less bonus damage. Dude, weirdly enough, I have not really had problems with crit maps. Lowered the baseline of monster density of breach encounters, primarily reducing the frequency of elite monsters appearing. No! Wait, why is it called elite? What is this? Elite? Since when do we say elite? It's rare, isn't it? Or are the elite monsters not rares? What is that? Why are they calling it an elite? Disable the volatile crystals modifier. We'll revisit this in pending telegraphing improvements. Wait, is that the one where you hit it and the ground turns purple and then it explodes? Why don't they just use the PoE 1 graphic for it? Purple explosives created by volatile plant modifier and rare monsters. Now, oh yes, this one is huge. These little purple balls were awful. Siphon's flask now drains 10 times less flash charges per second. Okay. Those pretty huge balance changes. Character and item balance. We made charm modifiers and belts substantially more common, now appear much lower levels. Oh, thank God, dude. I don't know why it was so rare. Electrocute is now 25% harder to build up. Hey, that nerfed my build. I'm about to swap it to freeze anyways. Unless there's more. Add a new lightning damage and electrocute cluster to passive tree in between the ranger and monk sections. Oh, maybe a buff. Maybe buffed? It is now more difficult to chain freeze enemies by reducing the amount of freeze buildup applied after a freeze has been applied. 100 Talisman notable now grants +1 charm slot. Wait, does that mean you can get to 4? Skill and support gem balance. How do we define overpowered? Basically, it's a situation in which a certain skill is so powerful that players feel no other method of playing the game is viable. Generally speaking, we try to do this in a way that doesn't make it feel bad. That is so not true. Every time they nerf something, they nerf like 3 things about it. They give it the triple tap. Ideally, any truly meta shifting changes will only happen at the same time as a contact back patch with a new league to play in. That doesn't mean we haven't been looking. That doesn't mean we haven't been looking at underpowered skills and support gems. A number of changes plan which improve some of these. While they act, I wasn't expecting to see buffs. Improvements to rolling slam and all shield skills in the mace section. Improvements to bow skills, especially the skills used to generate frenzies. Improvements to bone spells and chaos dot. Improvements to various crossbow skills, especially those at higher tiers. Wait! This could be shock burst buffs. Wait, this could be huge. Oh, shoot. Maybe buffed? Improvements to some of the underachieving quarterstaff abilities. Also made a pass over the support gems. We've added 2 new support gems and removed or lessened the penalties on many others, notably the fire, lightning, and cold exposure supports. Added the tremors support gem. Gives more aftershocks with a damage penalty. Cool. Bidding support. More damage command skills of supported minions. Exposure gems no longer penalize damage to supported skills. They now have a manually cost multiplier of 120. It's a buff for my build. There are a few notable nerfs to a few of the remaining overachieving skills. Skeletal Arsonist Spirit now match the other 2 Skeleton Mages. This will result in a slight decrease in the number of Arsonists at a higher level. Nerf the DOT component on very high levels of Tornado and Vine Arrow. These were never intended to be dealing damage themselves, more so as a net way to act for other skills to propagate damage. Magnetic Salvo can now only use your stuck lightning arrows as opposed to those created by your party members. Nice. Good patch. Good patch. Dude, wait. You're telling me the cast on shock and stuff like that did not get nerfed for bosses? It's so OP, dude. Are they like scared to nerf things now because people were bitching? How did that not get hit? I mean, do you need a ton of investment? If you do, then alright, I guess. I don't know. I feel like that level of power should not be doable. And I feel like there's no reason that power level should be doable within a week of the game being out. I feel like there's 0 reason. Honestly, it's... I don't know. I don't know. They did nerf shock build up? Where'd you see that? You take the funny pills or something? That's not in here. Well, pretty good patch. I don't know. I'm not super thrilled about the top end level of stuff right now, but we'll see where it goes.